All right, guys. So at this point, it's kind of rare to come across a pair of true wireless earbuds that offer something unique. I mean, we cover so many of these on the channel and they've gone through and evolved to so many different things. But today we're going to be checking out the Kinera Sylvie. This is a pair of true wireless earbuds that actually does have a pretty interesting trick up its sleeve. It could actually be two different kind of earbuds in one. And I actually think it all makes sense what they're trying to go for, because with this pair, they're trying to be a clip-on style earbud that's open ear audio so that you can hear all of the things around you, but also be a pair of earbuds that has a pair of ear tips where you can isolate yourself more from everything around you. So a very interesting concept I have not seen done yet. This is a pair that comes in at $159 though, so this is not a cheap pair of earbuds. And I've not really ever been familiar with the company Kinera or Kinera, so I checked out a lot of their different stuff, and they have some very expensive IEMs and some very expensive true wireless earbuds. So they are a more higher end audio company. And this is the least expensive product that they have in their lineup. So again, made me very intrigued to see what it is they had to offer. So let's go ahead and start with what makes this a 2-in-1 device. Well, this actually comes with two different kind of nozzles. The nozzle that's already on it out of the box allows you to put silicone ear tips. In fact, it comes with 3 different sets of silicone ear tips. It is a longer nozzle. Again, it's still just used as a clip-on style earbud. It has to go around the outside part of your ear. It is facing inward, and the ear tip is different than normal ear tips on earbuds because it doesn't go all the way in your ear canal. It does go pretty deep, but it's basically just channeling the audio closer into your ear canal instead of it, like a normal open ear style earbud kind of playing it further back. You have it, closer to your ear canal. And we'll talk about the sound differences once we actually get to the sound. But the extra set of nozzles they've included, you basically just take off the nozzle that's on them and you replace them with the ones that come in this little pouch, and it sits more flush with the round part that's channeling audio into your ear. This is what allows it to be more of an open ear style earbud, and it allows you to be more aware of your surroundings. Now, again, the two different styles do play a huge part when it comes to audio, but it also plays a huge part in how much sound it leaks. So in open ear style earbud, it's gonna leak a little bit more if you're listening at louder volumes, or with the ear tips and it channeling it closer into your ear canal, it's not going to leak as much sound. But I do have some gripes with this because there is nowhere to store the nozzles on the case. So this is going to be something if you're going out of the house, you kind of have to make this decision before you go out of the house, or you have to have that, little Ziploc bag with the other nozzles like in your pocket. So you have to have them on you to be able to switch this. But with this being a higher end audio company, another thing that was pretty interesting about here was the driver selection. You're actually getting dual drivers because it uses a 10mm Tesla dynamic driver mixed with a 7mm micro planar driver. This is allowing the dynamic driver to handle the lows and the mids and allowing the planar driver to handle the highs. So in theory, again, we'll talk about this more once we get to the sound, everything is kind of separated where it's just not this one big muddy mess when it comes to the sound. Now moving over to the design and the look of these, the case I'm a huge fan of. It has like a textured grip to it. It's kind of replicating, I guess, kind of like what leather feels like. Again, it just has a good grip to it. You do have to use the included USB-C cable to charge these because it isn't a Qi wireless charging case. And then when you pull out the earbuds, the first thing, again, you're going to notice is it looks like a normal clip-on style earbud. So when it's in your ear, you use the outside part for touch controls. And it does give you control over everything except the volume. So do keep that in mind. You are going to have to pull out your phone to change the volume on these. There's plenty of flex to the earbud itself though, so I never had any issue with it being uncomfortable. It is important though how you wear these and how you're going to get the best sound out of them. And it does show like in the manual, how to place these. It's basically like midway up your ear so that it allows the speaker to kind of be placed just right facing in towards your ear canal. And then when it comes to the battery life on these, on the earbuds themselves, you're only going to get about 6 hours. And with the charging case, you're only going to get about 24 hours total. So this is definitely not impressive battery life, whether it be an open ear style earbud or a normal pair of earbuds. Now the Kinera Sylvie does have an app. You are going to want to download the app, obviously, to keep these updated. One thing I'm not crazy about, but it is a lot of features that a lot of people are interested in, is the app is very AI heavy. There's a lot of AI features on these earbuds. You have stuff like AI translation, so you can, translate other languages and you can hear what it sounds like in your language, and then also vice versa. There's a virtual assistant. Again, an AI assistant to kind of help you along your day or do different things. You can also go in and change the voice of the AI assistant. They also have what they call AI dialogue. I think this is more of like Chat GPT, just being able to carry on a conversation with somebody that's just an AI person, kind of a companion, I guess. I'm not really sure what the point of this is. But also within the app, and to me, the important things is you can switch on the dual connection mode so that you can connect to more than one device at a time. And then there are also EQ options in here as well. But I am going to say that I think the EQ setting that it has out of the box, I think it has a typical like consumer tuning that, again, is going to appeal to most people. And another thing that's AI based is the microphones. Now, this is something we pretty much see on almost every earbud now, where they're using AI to kind of focus in on your voice and also kind of block out a lot of the things around you. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a quick test here. Here is a quick mic test outdoors using the Kinera Sylvie. I definitely hear some birds and some insects off to the side and a lot of traffic. But this is just to give you an idea of what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. And we kind of have to talk about the sound in both listening modes. As an open ear style earbud, the sound is fantastic. It actually is very, very good. It competes with some of the best, if not the best out there when it comes to open ear style earbuds, especially the clip-on style. There's plenty of punch in the low end. There, in fact, is even a slight rumble, so you do get the impact, almost kind of like a sub when it comes to the bass. It does do a good job when it comes to sub bass. There is some punch here, but the mids and the treble are also excellent. So vocalists, you'll never have any issue hearing if it's male or female vocals. Guitars have a nice, clean, like rich approach to it. And the treble on here has a nice brightness to it as well. Now, I will say it still kind of leans itself more to being a little on the warm side. So it's not going to be like overly harsh or overly bright. You have to worry about like the sibilant sound with S's or anything like that. But switching over to the in-ear mode, or the mode with the ear tips, there's a huge, huge difference. Now, if you try to push it enough where the ear tip is completely sealing your ear, the bass is just way too much. I don't think it was ever meant to be used this way. In fact, even on the advertising and the different ways it kind of explains how to use this, it's not telling you to kind of shove this in a way where it can block your whole ear canal. So it is meant to just still kind of sit like an open ear style earbud, where you do have some space around it. But again, it's just channeling the sound a little bit closer to your ear canal. So you are getting more bass this way. You are definitely getting more punch this way. It warms it up a little bit more, but I will say the treble is actually brighter this way. And again, I don't know if it's because it's channeling it a little closer to your ear canal. So it is more dynamic if you're going to listen to them in the ear tip mode. You're going to get more details. You're going to get more thump in the low end. And the vocalists do sound a little bit closer. So kind of look at it as ear tip mode kind of makes you feel more like you're in a studio with the artist, and then the open ear mode is more like listening to them in a live environment. It's definitely a more open sound. Things sound more spacious that way, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that even the ear tip mode has a lot of space as well. Again, it is not like your normal earbuds that have ear tips that's isolating you from everything around you. So to wrap this video up, again, it was the appeal of having both listening modes that caught my attention with these, and that is the huge selling point. If you don't want to have two different types of earbuds, so like if you're at home and you want to listen to earbuds with ear tips, and then when you go to work or you go outside, you want an open ear style so that you can be more aware of your surroundings, this checks the box of having kind of both of those. But it's not again, replacing a normal pair of earbuds with ear tips. It's not giving you that complete isolation, and it's not giving you the complete seal where you're getting, the full effect of having a normal pair of earbuds. So I do want to point that out. But the sound is great in both modes. It is annoying that there's no place to store the nozzle. Again, maybe in a future model they can have it where the nozzle just kind of retracts and then kind of expands out like with a spring, instead of actually having to take the nozzle off completely. Again, it's kind of a pain, and it kind of keeps you from being able to have it on you all the times unless you just happen to have those nozzles in your pocket. But guys, that wraps up my video on the Kinera Sylvie. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.